Alright, have you ever done a random act of kindness for another person? Like something that they didn't ask you to do, or something that didn't necessarily need to be done, and something that was unexpected, but that you did for another person, and that had no benefit to yourself? Well, if you haven't, I want to encourage you to do that today, because it really has just huge effects for the person that does the act and the person receiving whatever you did. It helps you, like if you decided to do something for another person, it's good for you because I don't know if you've ever done it. If you have, you know the feeling of doing something kind for another person. There's no feeling like it. Got it? Excuse us. But if you have helped another person, you know what it feels like. It feels amazing. And if you're the person being helped, of course it feels good. To know that somebody else thought of you is an awesome feeling. There's several different ways that you could reach out to people through random acts. I know some people on a toll road, if they're paying the toll, they'll just pay for the car behind them. And like, I've done that before. And the amazing thing about that is you never get a thank you. And you pay for the person behind you and you drive off and that person never sees you again. But you know that it had some impact on them, which is just a really cool feeling once you've done that, to be like, wow, you know, I helped somebody else. And on like an episode of Friends, the characters are in a debate on whether you can have a selfless good deed. Because they, like, one person is saying that there's no such thing as a selfless good deed because every time you do something for another person, you're benefiting yourself because you feel good about it. And I agree with that. I think that every time you do something for another person, you really do feel good about it. You feel good about like what you've done. And even though whenever you do something like paying for the person behind you on a toll road, they don't know that and they don't say thank you to you, but you do feel good about it. And the cool thing about that too is you're not only impacting the person you pay for, you're impacting the person taking your money as well. Because when you tell them, oh, I want to pay for the person behind me, and they get to not only see you give them the money and do the selfless thing, but they also get to give the money or tell the person behind you and be like, hey, you can go ahead because the person in front of you paid for you. Like, that's really cool for them to be able to see both sides of that. And I mean, that's just one example. Another example could be, I know people have paid for somebody behind them in a fast food line. They'll just pay for theirs and pull forward to get their food and go, and the person behind them pulls up and the lady's like, oh, your food's paid for. And I've never had that happen to me, but I can imagine that if somebody paid for my cheeseburger at McDonald's, I'd be stoked. I mean, that's only like $1 or something, but I mean, it's such a little thing, and I think it can make such a big difference that somebody has taken the time out of their day to look past themselves and look past their life and reach deep into your life. Even if it's just buying you a hamburger, it reaches you. And I mean, I think that you can probably think of a time in your life when somebody's done something kind for you. And the reason why you can think of that is because it has an impact on you. Because it's sad that in our world, it doesn't happen very often for people to do something kind for another person. But so when it does happen, it impacts you, it impacts your life. So I would like to encourage you today, if you haven't done that before, just to randomly do something for another person. I encourage you to do that. Thank you.